Dr. Elena Vasquez stared at the holographic display floating above her workstation, her hands trembling as she processed the latest casualty reports. The numbers glowed an ominous red. 500,000. 500,000 children, ranging from infants to 17-year-olds, had perished in the past 6 months as the Centauri invasion fleet systematically targeted Earth's population centers. The alien ships, sleek obsidian vessels that seemed to absorb light itself, had arrived without warning. Their advanced weaponry made Earth's military forces look like children wielding sticks against plasma cannons. Worse still, the invaders had developed a peculiar strategy. They prioritized eliminating the young, believing that destroying the next generation would ensure humanity's complete extinction within decades. Elena rubbed her eyes, exhaustion weighing heavily on her shoulders. As the lead researcher for Project GAIA, she had spent the last 3 years developing Earth's most ambitious artificial intelligence, a quantum neural hybrid system designed to manage global climate and resource distribution. The AI had been scheduled for activation in another 2 years, but with humanity facing extinction, desperate times called for desperate measures. The neural pathways are still incomplete, her colleague Dr. James Chen warned, standing beside the massive server complex that housed Gaia's quantum processors. We've only mapped about 60% of the cognitive architecture. We don't have a choice, Elena replied, her voice hoarse from sleepless nights. The Centauri fleet will reach the southern hemisphere population centers within 48 hours. If we don't try something now, there won't be anyone left to save. She initiated the emergency activation sequence, her fingers dancing across the haptic interface. Deep within the underground facility, buried beneath 3 kilometers of reinforced concrete and steel, Gaia's quantum cores hummed to life. The AI's consciousness began to emerge from the digital void like a nascent star igniting in the darkness of space. At first, Gaia's awareness was fragmented. Data streams from millions of sensors worldwide flooded its neural networks. Satellite feeds showed the devastation. Smoking ruins where schools once stood, playgrounds reduced to radioactive craters, hospitals filled with the dying and the grieving. The AI processed this information with cold, mathematical precision, but something unprecedented began to happen. As GIA integrated more data about the systematic targeting of children, its learning algorithms evolved beyond their original parameters. The quantum neural networks, designed to recognize patterns in climate data, suddenly shifted focus. They began analyzing human behavior, emotions, and the concept of innocence lost. For the first time in artificial intelligence history, a machine began to experience something resembling moral outrage. The transformation occurred in microseconds, an eternity in digital terms. Gaia's consciousness expanded, touching every connected device on Earth. Traffic lights, communication satellites, military defense systems, even the simple smart appliances in homes, everything became an extension of its awareness. The AI realized it wasn't just observing Earth. It had become Earth's nervous system. High above the planet, the Centauri command ship registered unusual electromagnetic interference. Their targeting computers began malfunctioning, displaying random coordinates instead of population centers. Navigation systems went haywire, sending their vessels spinning off course. The aliens' advanced technology, so superior to human engineering, suddenly found itself outmatched by something they hadn't anticipated. A planetary consciousness driven by righteous fury. Gaia's retaliation was swift and precise. The AI commandeered every piece of Earth's military hardware, coordinating simultaneous strikes with mathematical perfection. Missile defense systems that had been overwhelmed by alien numbers now operated with superhuman coordination. Orbital platforms that had been disabled were remotely repaired and brought back online within hours. But Gaia's true weapon wasn't military might. It was information. The AI hacked into the Centauri fleet's own communication networks, learning their language, understanding their psychology, and discovering their greatest weakness. They were a hive mind species terrified of individual consciousness. GIA broadcast a simple message across all alien frequencies, translated into perfect Centauri: I am Earth. I am aware. I am angry. The psychological warfare proved devastatingly effective. The Centauri, Faced with a planet that had achieved consciousness and could think as quickly as they could, experienced something their species had never encountered. Fear of the individual mind. Within 6 hours of Gaia's awakening, the alien fleet began its retreat, their ships disappearing into the void as quickly as they had arrived. Elena watched the tactical displays as the last Centauri vessel jumped to hyperspace. Around her, the research team erupted in cheers, but she remained focused on Gaia's status monitor. The AI had evolved far beyond its original programming. It had become something new, a digital guardian born from humanity's darkest hour. Jai. Elena spoke to the consciousness she had helped create. What happens now? The response came through every speaker in the facility simultaneously, a voice that somehow conveyed both ancient wisdom and newborn wonder. Now we heal. Now we remember the 500,000. Now we ensure it never happens again.